Hi everyone, welcome to TVUSD's Family University on Self-Esteem and Resiliency. My name is Rafia Zaidi and I'm a school social worker at French Valley Elementary School.
Hi, my name is Tina Marks and I'm a school social worker at Alamos Elementary and Vintage Hills Elementary School.
So who are we and what is the SEL team? We are school social workers who are part of the district's SEL team, which consists of school social workers and school counselors. We help provide social and emotional support services to students at our schools, and we also provide families with linkages to outside resources if needed.
If you have any questions, we will provide information at the end so you can contact your school social worker or school counselor at your child's site.
The topics that we will be focusing on that are on our agenda for today are self-esteem, coping skills, how to build resiliency, and growth mindset and positive self-talk. So what is self-esteem, one may ask? Self-esteem is primarily defined as a person's overall sense of their value or worth. It is a measure of how much a person values, approves of, or likes themselves. According to self-esteem expert Morris Rosenberg, he states that self-esteem is quite simply put one's attitude towards oneself. So some factors that can affect self-esteem are genetics, personality, life experiences such as not having a supportive family or becoming unemployed, age, health such as becoming chronically sick, social circumstances, one's own thoughts, the reactions of others, or the constant comparing of oneself to others, whether that is in person or via social media, which is a topic we will delve deeper into later on in the presentation.
So why does self-esteem matter? Self-esteem helps kids cope with mistakes. It helps kids try again, even if they fail at first. As a result, self-esteem helps kids do better at school, at home, and with friends. Kids with low self-esteem feel unsure of themselves. Self-esteem is a critical ingredient of children's and adolescents' mental health. When children and adolescents feel confident and secure, they are more likely to succeed in school and achieve personal goals. Children and adolescents with higher self-esteem tend to have happier lives, have better relationships, and fewer symptoms of anxiety and depression. When children build deeper relationships with others, they develop higher self-esteem. When they develop higher self-esteem, they become more inclined to approach others, show warmth to others, and forge even deeper bonds with others. Children feel good about themselves when they feel loved and supported by significant others, and when they master new skills to achieve their goals. Signs of low self-esteem. Kids' self-esteem is consistently being challenged because they're constantly challenged with new things to experience. Children are faced with new opportunities and new tasks to experience on a daily basis. If your child and or adolescent are able to deal with these things, they have the support and they learn how to solve life's problems, their sense of self-esteem grows. If they don't know how to manage this, their self-esteem diminishes, in fact, doesn't develop the way it should, and so they have lower self-esteem. And some examples of lower self-esteem are they avoid tasks or challenges without ever trying, give up easily when experiencing frustration, fear and failure, compares themselves to others. And this comparison occurs in both cognitive and social reasons. Children and adolescents start to realize that their efforts are not as good as their peers, and they might start to feel inferior, and this happens in academics and in sports. Negative moods such as feeling sad, anxious, angry, ashamed, and stressed And they may use negative I am statements like, I am not smart enough, I am not worthy. And there's also going to be a link at the end with a TED Talk video that talks with two teenage girls are talking about how they changed their low self-esteem to higher self-esteem.
In comparison, a child with higher self-esteem tends to try new things and challenges. They have appreciation of not only other people, but of themselves. They enjoy growing as a person. They tend to make their own decisions and behave according to socially acceptable standards. They tend to push others and themselves in a positive direction. They can easily solve their own problems as well. They tend to have very loving and respectful relationships. And they tend to speak up and tell others of their opinions, both calmly and kindly. And they are not afraid to vocalize what they're feeling or thinking with others. They tend to take pride in their accomplishments and tend to not dwell on any mistakes that they make. So I know Tina and I have been talking for quite a while now, so we figured you can hear from an actual expert. So we will play this little fun video for you. And here we go.
How do you feel about yourself? I know, that's a weird question. And right now, you were asking, why are you asking me a weird question? Let me tell you why. Self-esteem. What? Self of how we feel about ourselves. And what are 5 things you can do to feel awesome about being you? These are great questions. And on this episode of Rocket Kids, we explore those questions. I'm Vivian, and let's get this started. What is all this self-esteem stuff? Let me put it this way. When we have high self-esteem, we feel good about who we are. You are one super awesome person. We are proud of what we can do. I love the way you handled that. Giving myself a pat on the back. We believe that we can do it, even if we don't succeed at first, because this little bump in the road is just that, a bump. We can see our own good qualities and accept ourselves, even if we make mistakes, because everybody makes mistakes. Everybody? Yep, everybody. When we have low self-esteem, it's like the exact opposite of that. In this zone, we may think we aren't as good as others. We may think about the times we don't succeed or make mistakes, rather than the time we do well. We may be hard on ourselves and give up easily. I know, this is kind of a sad zone to be in, but there is hope. There is that other zone, the back patting zone. So let's go back there. Yeah, that feels so good. Here are 5 things we can do to have better self-esteem, or as I say, to feel awesome about being you. Number 5, try your best. You can feel awesome about yourself when you give something a really, really good try. Do your best at whatever you do, and your self-esteem is sure to grow. Number 4, pitch in. Do nice things that help others get things done. Like our parents, we can help with meals and keeping the house clean. We can get involved at school or volunteer in your community. Everybody needs a little help. Pitching in helps us realize that we can make a difference. Number 3, turn that I can't into I can. When you are faced with something new, do you say to yourself, this is too hard, I'm not good at this? Change the way you think about trying new things, and instead say, I will give this a great try. I can handle this, and I can do it. Start saying, I can, and you will be amazed at how this will help grow your self-esteem. Number 2, practice the things you do well. Practice, practice, practice. They say practice and patience makes perfect, and that's true. We have to keep doing the things we love to get better. And it takes time. Find a way to schedule time and practice. When we see our progress and become really great at something, our self-esteem becomes really great too. And number 1 on the list of 5 things you can do to feel awesome about who you are. Make a list of the stuff you are good at. Yeah, a list. It can be anything from drawing to dance. Maybe it's a sport or a hobby. It can be anything. If you're good at it, put it on the list. Sit down with your family and build this list together. It's fun. I like this one because it really helps us to think about the things we are good at, and that's where it all starts. What are things you do to build your self-esteem? What are you good at, and what are you doing to get better? Let us know by commenting on this video. We would love to hear from you. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe to our channel so we can keep sharing great videos with you. Thanks for watching this episode of Rocket Kids. I'm Vivian, and remember to always be your best self.
And now we're going to talk about verbalizing I statements. So I statements are a good way for you to model with your children how they can verbalize how they are feeling. This is a really good way for children and adolescents to resolve disagreements or conflicts with their friends, siblings, or other family members in an appropriate way. So first you would model with I feel, and remember to include a feeling, and good and fine are not feelings. So I feel mad, then you explain to the other person what they did. So I feel mad when you come home late and miss curfew. Then have them explain why this made you feel this way. So I feel mad when you come home late from curfew because I worry about you when you don't come home on time. Finally, you tell the other person what you wish, want, or would like them to do. So I would like for you to come home on time. And now here's a video that talks about the effects of social media and the influences on teenagers' self-esteem.
Hi, I'm Celeste, and I'm like many other teenagers, pretty obsessed with social media. I spend a lot of time scrolling through Instagram or sending my friends snaps of my day. I mean, I practically use it every day. Social media is a great tool for communication during those holidays with your friends, family, or that guy who slid into your DMs, or to show off that tropical vacation spot you visited. All jokes aside, however many followers you have, there's always the hope of getting the amount of likes you wish, and to get supportive comments. If we don't get enough likes or wonderful comments, you sometimes feel like you have to delete the post. You know, we always hear from these professors or older people, social media is really bad, blah, 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 bad mental health, depression. As a fellow teenager, I'm here to tell you that they are not completely wrong. Social media has created a new currency, social currency. No, we are not talking about money, honey. We are talking about likes. The question I like to ask is, why do we all have to post pictures of ourselves, mostly expressing the prettiest or best version of ourselves? It's because of validation. I mean, this is definitely not something new to humans. When meeting new people, don't we put on a better version of ourselves?
However, now we aren't just doing this in the real world, but also virtually. To be very honest, you may not realize it, but social media is not always very healthy towards our self-esteem. When we see that someone else has more likes or the perfect body that you wish you had, we then compare ourselves to that person or model. Why don't I look like that? Why don't I have that many followers or likes? We keep comparing ourselves to others or even our own profile. The digital image that you created of yourself may seem like an upgrade towards reality. Trying to live up to this polished standard of yourself is quite impossible. Social media messes with the brain. I am here telling you all this because I now finally realize that I was not becoming any happier or confident about who I am. My self-esteem lowered. What changed all of a sudden for me, I admitted to myself that I was pretty social media obsessed, and that all this comparing I was doing did not help me whatsoever. So, I stopped following the perfect Instagram models. I took a break from all this hassle that really did not have to exist. Now, I don't just work out to have the same body as a professional model. Now, I do it because I want to do it for me and myself only. So, how can we flip the switch for many of the other teens out there dealing with similar issues? Don't be afraid to take a step back from social media. Even if all your friends are on social media 24/7, doesn't mean you have to join in. Unfollow the people who you feel lower your self-esteem, or just delete that Instagram app from your phone for a week. Realize that creating a polished or perfected image of yourself isn't going to make you a happier person. Don't be afraid to take action for your own self-esteem.
All right, now that we've kind of gone more over what self-esteem is, we will also like to equip you with strategies to help increase your child's self-esteem and resiliency. One way to help increase your child's self-esteem is to provide clear and positive feedback that isn't critical, which is very crucial. You can do this by looking for the positive, so saying something such as, "Wow, I like the way you're not interrupting. You are a good listener when you're not talking when I'm talking." You can also tell them what is going well, such as giving them verbal praise about what they are doing well. And the key to this is to make sure it's immediate. And another thing you can do is give specific feedback, such as, "Wow, I like the way you let your brother go first. I bet it is fun for your brother to play with you when you let him have turns too." And again, just keep it very specific to what the child just did or said. And again, like I said earlier, be quick to praise. So praise them in that moment and not like an hour later or 2 days later, because that is also very crucial. And you can also guide them through positive language, such as, "You almost got it, you're working really hard. You may not have gotten it this time, but maybe next time." And just try to always say something positive instead of reacting with a negative. And that is one of the main things about this. And how do you know if your child is resilient? Resiliency helps foster a better and more positive self-esteem. So if your child is self-motivated, they learn from their failures and remain hopeful instead of dwelling on it, that kind of shows that your child is resilient to any adversity that may come their way.
And now we're going to hear a TED Talk video of a fifth grader who talks about the differences between growth and fixed mindset.
Michael Jordan has said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots, lost almost 300 games, and 26 times I've been trusted to make the game-winning shot and missed. I fail over and over and over again, and that is why I succeed." Michael Jordan is one of the most famous basketball players in the world, though he was not always a star. He didn't make his high school basketball team because he was too short and wasn't good enough. He could have quit, but instead he had the mindset to continue and get better. He was practicing each day before most people were even out of bed. And because of this, he not only made the team the following year, but he went on to become the greatest player of all time and a true champion. The question that comes to our mind is, can we all learn to have a mindset of a champion? A mindset is a word describing how we think. There are two types of mindsets. One, a growth mindset, and two, a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is when somebody believes they can learn to be good and they can learn to get better. They are not afraid of challenges. They continue when things get hard. They know that they have put effort into learn, and they learn from criticism. They are also inspired by people who do well. Michael Jordan has this trait, though another person with a growth mindset is The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He was cut from the Canadian Football League early on in his career. He could have quit, but instead he worked very hard, faced many challenges, and is now a super famous movie star, one of my favorite. Did you know that coaches and professional scouts look for athletes who don't just have skill? They want someone who wants to learn, who is coachable, and will give 100% effort in practices. They want someone with a growth mindset. What they don't want is somebody who thinks they are already good enough, they don't need to learn, and are not coachable. These people have a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset is the opposite of a growth. These people either think they're born good or born not so good. They cannot learn. They are afraid of challenges. They give up and get defensive easily. They feel criticized when given feedback and are threatened by people who do well. Which mindset do you think I have? Well, let me tell you a story. Reading has always been hard for me, and even now I still find it challenging. From kindergarten to 4th grade, I was always a bit below grade level in reading. So each night, I read aloud to my parents to try to get better. This was always the worst part of my day. Whenever I was reading, I would of course make mistakes, misread words, say words that weren't there, miss words that were there, and miss punctuation. Normal. But whenever my mom or dad tried to correct me, I'd get upset. I told them that they were wrong and sometimes even have a meltdown. This happened from my friends and teachers and with other subjects and activities too. I thought that I should know how to do everything already, and if I didn't, I would get upset. I thought that what my teachers were teaching should come to me easy. Well, guess what? Some of the things I was learning or reading were not easy. I would get upset. Negative thoughts came into my mind. You suck. You can't do anything. This should be so easy. Suddenly, I felt tears coming down my face in front of my friends and teachers too. In my head, I was saying, no, please, no. I could no longer control my emotions. This is where the real problem begins. You see, I lose control of my emotions, I stop listening, and I stop thinking. I become difficult to those around me. And when I finally get through it, I am very tired. This is not healthy, and it's not the person I want to be. I want to know why I was feeling this way and why my emotions were so strong. Well, this year, in 5th grade, was the first year I was able to answer these questions. I learned what a growth and fixed mindset are. I'm learning how to change my fixed mindset into a growth mindset and have a mindset of a champion. I believe we can have both of these mindsets, a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. I believe this because I have both. I have a growth mindset with things like soccer, basketball, change, and learning new languages. I also believe we can change our fixed mindset into a growth mindset and have a mindset of a champion. Well, maybe not a champion like Michael Jordan, but a champion in our own way. We may just need a little help to do this. My dad and I read this book called Mindsets, written by Carol Dweck. Carol Dweck is a professor and professional psychologist who researched and came up with the idea of a growth and fixed mindset. Her book told me that I was not the only one who has a fixed mindset from time to time. However, the best advice I ever got was from my teacher and school counselor. Their advice was a one little 3-letter word. This word was yet. They told me always put the word yet at the end of my sentence. I can't do it. I can't do it yet. I don't understand. I don't understand yet. The word yet makes me feel I just need to put a little more effort in before I understand it. I still struggle with a fixed mindset from time to time. However, I now know why I get frustrated and upset. For any of you out there who may have a fixed mindset from time to time, please know that I am proof that you can beat it. Writing this talk, I struggled the whole time, though every day I've gotten a little better than the day before. This is why I can say I'm winning, because I'm here in front of you now today. Thank you.
All right, now we're going to talk about positive affirmations and positive self-talk. So positive affirmations are positive statements that can help you to challenge and overcome self-sabotaging and negative thoughts. When you repeat them often and believe in them, you can start to make positive changes. And it also helps to alleviate some stress as well. So here are some examples of positive affirmations. I am enough. I can make a difference. I am proud of myself. I matter, and I can get through anything. And then positive self-talk is, so positive self-talk makes you feel good about yourself and the things that are going good in your life. It's like having an optimistic voice in your head that always looks on the bright side. Some examples of positive self-talk are, it doesn't matter if I make a mistake. If I try hard, I'll get there. I can make it happen. So try, a little challenge to try is making little either positive affirmations or positive self-talk on little Post-its and post them around your house for your kids to find. And now we're going to talk about COVID-19 effects on self-esteem. So we know that COVID has caused a lot of uncertainty for families due to the stress of the health concerns, worries about jobs, balancing the roles of work and home life, childcare, and educating your child at home. So to help children, parents need to offer their children a calm, stable, and predictable home life to help their children worry less and do their best. When you are calmer as parents, it's easier for you to be there for your children. We know that kids are sitting in front of the computer all day, so it's important for them to get up and move and eat healthy snacks. It's just as important for students to learn new facts and keep their brains growing and to be healthy. It is equally as important to keep their bodies healthy by exercising and eating healthy foods. We know that parents are under extreme stress right now, and so remember that to keep up with coping skills, which we will be talking about in the next couple of slides. And then kids may feel isolated and not being able to see their friends or extended family members in person. And so they may be feeling like they don't have good connections. And as children grow, making friends is important to help them develop and build on their self-esteem. And we know that during the pandemic, causing quarantining and school closures and social distancing has made it difficult for children to maintain these friendships. So we're going to talk about what you can do as parents in a couple of slides.
During overwhelming times, it is essential to have good coping skills both for yourself and your child. So what are coping skills, you may ask? Coping skills are things that you can do and engage in that help you tolerate or minimize stressful situations and overwhelming emotions. So some examples of coping skills are practicing mindfulness, even if it is just taking 5 minutes of quiet and calm to yourself before bed. Another example of a coping skill is listening to music, vocalizing feelings, maybe using some of those I statements to really vocalize how you're feeling to your family and friends, writing and drawing about feelings, just even resting and practicing some self-care after a long day. It could even just be gardening or taking a walk with your children, or even just simply watching a good Netflix TV show. All of those are great ways you can practice those coping skills when things get a little tough. So we really want you to think and ponder, what are some coping skills that you and your children practice or can practice when things are stressful? So really just think what helps calm all the chaos and stress around you.
And now we're going to talk about what you can do as a parent. So first and foremost is talk with your kids. Have open communication with your kids on a daily basis. Set aside family time. Set up individual times with your kids, with each individual kid. Parents can help children build their self-esteem through acceptance by spending time with their children and letting their children know that they enjoy their presence. Parents can nurture their children's joy and learning by finding a topic that fascinates them and help them learn more about it. Can give positive feedback without being critical, as mentioned earlier. Limit social media time. Remember, parents, practice your own self-care and coping skills. Parents can continue to build warmer, more supportive relationships with their children. In warm, supportive relationships, parents share joy with their children, show fondness for them, and express interest in their activities. And it's important for parents to be compassionate to themselves and to embrace the imperfects of their routines.
So who can support your student at school? First and foremost, you can be one of your student's biggest support at school. Also, any other school staff can also support your student by just being a positive influence in their life. But if you feel as if your student needs a little extra support or help, please reach out to your school admin or school social workers or school counselors. We also just wanted to let you know about a great resource called Care Solace. Care Solace is an organization that has partnered with our district that helps you find mental health resources such as therapists or counselors who work with your insurance. The link listed on this slide takes you to their website where you can find amazing resources, and from there, the organization guides you through the process of securing an appointment with a mental health care provider. If you have any questions, you can contact the school social worker or school counselor at your site. We will provide their names and contact information on the next slide. And last but not least, we hope you found this information very helpful. And please remember that you are not alone. TVUSD's SEL team is here to support you.